How was your dinner tonight? Was it good? I know the only reason I came tonight was because of the cupcakes, because I know who was making them. They were very enjoyable. Good job, by the way. I hope to get another one if I'm lucky. My coach somehow conned me into doing this. I would have never been the person to do anything like this in my lifetime until she seen what I could do last year in the school's poetry out loud. I forgot about when you get first place, you gotta go north when you hold up in front of a bunch of people. And I did. I got first in poetry out loud last year, which was very good, and that's why she made me do it this year. I thought I was going to get out of it, but apparently I didn't. When I was a kid, I hid my heart under the bed because my mother said, "If you're not careful, someone's going to break it." Take it from me, under the bed is not a good hiding spot. I know because I've been shot down so many times. But that's what we were told. Standing up for yourself is hard if you don't know who you are. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a man. We were expected to define ourselves at such an early age, and if we didn't do it, others would do it for us. Geek, fatty, slut. It is extremely wrong having bullying victims still walk the halls of schools across Nebraska today. No matter whether you are class A or D, you have experienced bullying. And if you are being honest with yourself, you can even admit to being bullied at times. Spoken word poet Shane Poison's experience with violence echoes throughout this poem to this day by Shane Poison. At the same time we were being told what we were being asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? What an unfair question. Why can't we be what we already are? When I was a kid, I wanted to shave. Now, not so much. When I was 8, I wanted to be a marine biologist. When I was 9, I saw the movie Jaws and thought to myself, no thank you. When I was 10, I was told my parents left me because they didn't want me. When I was 11, I wanted to be left alone. When I was 12, I wanted to die. When I was 13, I wanted to kill a kid. When I was 14, I was told to seriously consider a career path. I said, I would like to be a writer. And they said, choose something realistic. Don't be stupid. See, they asked me what I wanted to be, and then told me what not to be. And I wasn't the only one. We were being told that we somehow must become what we are not, satisfying what we were. I was being told to accept the identity others would give me. And I wondered, what made my dreams so different? Granted, they are shy because they are Nebraskan. They stand alone at the high school dance, having never been kissed. See, my dreams got called names too. Silly, foolish, impossible. From ages 15 to 18, I hated myself for becoming the thing I despised, a bully. It is extremely hard to not be involved in racing violence. I remember this plan born out of frustration when a kid who kept calling me Yogi kept pointing at my tummy and saying, "Too many picnic baskets?" Turns out, it's not that hard to trick someone. And one day, I said, Yeah, you can copy my homework. And I gave him all the wrong answers that I wrote down the night before. He got his paper back expecting a near perfect score and couldn't believe it when he looked across the room at me and held up a 0. I knew I didn't have to hold up my 28 out of 30, but my satisfaction was complete when he looked across the room at me, puzzled. And I thought to myself, smarter than the average bear. See, this is who I am. This is how I stand up for myself. We weren't the only kids who grew up this way. To this day, kids are still being called names. The classics were, hey stupid, hey spaz. Seems like each school has a weapon store of names updated every year. But if a kid breaks in school and no one around chooses to hear, do they still make a sound? Or are they just background noise on the high school soundtrack stuck on repeat, echoing things like kids can be cruel? I want to tell them that this is all just trash, left over when we finally decide to smash all the things that we thought we used to be. Because if you can't see anything beautiful about yourself, get a better mirror, look a little closer, because there's something inside you that makes you keep trying, despite everyone around you telling you to quit. You built a cast around your broken heart, and you signed it. You signed it yourself. They were wrong. Maybe you don't belong to a group or a clique. Maybe you were chosen last at basketball or everything. Maybe you used to bring bruises and broken teeth to show and tell, but never showed. Because how can you stand your ground when everyone around you wants to bury you beneath it? You have to believe that they are wrong. Because after all, we are graduating members of the class of We Made It.
What clever questions do you have for me? That's what all you people specialize in, ain't it? Clever questions. Do you go to, like, clever question seminars for head shrinkers? I bet you do. I bet you and all the others get together and have these nice white tablecloths with little fruit salad cups and your name tags at your seats, and you sign up for workshops. The whole 9 yards. Oh, Dr. So-and-so, how nice to see you. Will you be attending the clever question seminar this morning? Oh, and I say, did you happen to catch last night's seminar on advanced leg crossing techniques? I was riveted, positively riveted. You all cross your legs, you know that? Even though it's supposed to be bad for your circulation. Every one of you that I've ever... Oh, nice question there, Doc. You paid attention at your last workshop. Yes, you did. Got your money's worth in everything. You know, my mother's always going off to conferences. She never takes me. That must be why I'm so lonely and suicidal. Guidance comes through various voices and avenues, but the need for a father's acceptance and concern rises above the roar of the crowd, regardless of self-preservation. Can you see through the cracks in Carmen's sarcastic mask? Mississippi Mirror by Alan Hennell. Okay, back on track. You want me to tell you about all the other counselors I've worked with. That is a clever question, Doc. A good way to get at my background, see what I've heard, what I've paid attention to. I commend you, Doctor. So, Let's start with Mrs. Doherty, grade 8 guidance counselor. She was a very nervous lady, very antsy, and just between you and me, not very bright. You know those guidance office posters, right? Attitude determines altitude. Reach for the stars, and even if you miss, well, you'll end up getting ruined. Whatever. I think that Mrs. Doherty figured that all she needed to do was recite that kind of guidance office poster wisdom, and she'd set us all straight. Now, Carmen, I understand that, well, you're going through quite a difficult time right now, and touching her nose. This was Mrs. Doherty's thing. All the time, touching her nose while she's talking to you. And, we need to get a better sense of, the forest through the trees, you know, and we need to keep, uppermost in our thoughts, in our minds is that, we control our own destinies, you know. Yuck. Very effective. Mrs. Doherty taught me a major irony, that our educational system hires some of the dumbest people in society. But she also taught me to keep away from my nose. I'll always be grateful to her for that. Oh yes, moving right along. Don't want to get too distracted from the task at hand. My first professional was Jack Leaney. Good old Jack. Always wanted me to call him by his first name, you know, buddy, buddy. Carmen, we can talk. I'm not above you. I'm not judging you. Say what you need to say. He had a bad habit too. Not as bad as the whole nose thing, but he threw in this 1960s hippie language, and I liked him okay. I mean, how do you not like a 1960s hippie throwback? Carmen, just close your eyes. Think of yourself as a piece of music or a light show. What music do you hear? Do you hear Hendrix? Oh, maybe Bach? What color are your lights? The truth was, of course, that while he claimed to be about self-discovery, when I told old Jack that the music I heard was rats chewing on my hair, and the light I saw was black lightning and a stark white sky, well, he wasn't too cool with that. And anyways, we had to quit our sessions when he got busted for possession. But now there was my father. He was a great one for advice, let me tell you. Especially when he'd add a few. And he had a very good technique, too, for making sure that you were listening. What would you call it? Reinforcement. Why don't you clean yourself up, Carmen? You look like a tramp! Don't want to turn out like your mother, do you? Whack! Live by my rules, or get out! Whack! Sometimes he'd just skip the advice, and he'd go right to the reinforcement. Whack! Yeah. Dear old Dad could have helped an awful lot of people before he suffocated on his own vomit and died! You know something, though? I remember him when I was young, maybe like 5 or 6. I don't think he was drinking much then, and I remember that he put me on his knee, and I was such a chatterbox. I mean, I'd go on and on about every little thing that happened, even if nothing happened. I'd spend 10 minutes on a toothpick I'd found or something. I don't think that I have ever felt so... Mother would feel left out, though, but she's not a real counselor. She doesn't try to give me advice when I come home with the latest bomb to drop in her lap. No. She just gets all weepy. Mother, I'm dropping out of school. She cries. Mother, I think I'm pregnant. She cries. Mother, you better take me to the hospital. I just swallowed a bunch of pills. She can barely see to drive. Mother, I hate you. Mother, I hate my life. Mother. Every time she cries. What are we made of, like 98% water? Well, I think Mother must be more like 99.9%, or she'd be gone by now. Poor Mother. No wonder she goes off to every conference she can. I wonder if she cries in her fruit cups. But you, what do I call you? I know, you're my Mississippi mirror. Now what I see, Carmen, is that your episodes of depression are often fueled by the perception that you have failed someone. Failed. I'm not quite getting that, am I, Doc? Do me a favor, say failed. Let me listen. Oh, there's a twist. You want me to tell you what my ideal counselor would be like? Well, he'd be a guy, no offense to you, Doc, and he'd be tall, and he'd have brown hair, and he'd be a little like a drill sergeant. Wouldn't let me get away with anything, but if I screwed up, if I wasn't ready to change, he wouldn't send me away. He wouldn't leave me, or he wouldn't die. What would he tell me? He would look at me with those eyes that seemed to say, "Keep talking, Carmen, I'm with you." What would he tell me? He'd tell me that he loved me.